And we're treating him like he was a returning starter last year, second year in college. And there was a time when guys played five, offensive linemen played five. They usually played pretty well in 3 and 4 and 5. Good in 3, but 4 or 5. And so, and the same thing with Logan Jones. Like, Logan probably should get a medal for the way he played last year. Because what he did was so difficult, moving in Mount March and then starting every game. And he played pretty well last year. And this guy, everything he does is just at such a high level. So to think he's not going to be better this year and next year, seriously? And I'd say the same thing about Connor. I think he'll be at a different level, physically, certainly maturity. He'll understand coaching a little bit better. It's asking an awful lot for a first, second year guy to go out there and play well, and at that position especially. It's really challenging. We've had guys do it. But I would suggest Tristan Wirfs was a lot better in year 3 than 1 and 2. So that's the part you can't microwave. You just can't, you can't give it to a guy. You can't have a guy walk in the weight room and say, okay, you went from 250 to 350 in 1 week time. That doesn't happen. And it's kind of the similar process. And I feel good about the whole group that way. Nick DeYoung, Mengo right down the list. Every guy is a better player. And I can't say it about Mason because we didn't have him out there this spring. But he'll be healthy this year. He's a year more mature, and I'm around him frequently, and he'll play at a much higher level too. I don't want to say he's just been surviving, but there's a difference between like doing your job and then really like doing your job well, and having some control. So I just think we're closer to that point. We're not there yet by any stretch. We really need a good month. I think we'll have a chance maybe to play at a level where it kind of meets the standard we're looking for. And it's not the guys that haven't tried. It's not injuries. There's a million things that factor into it. And I again say George is an unbelievable coach. So that's not the issue. It's just we'd step on 10 landmines in the next 2 weeks. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we'll be a little bit better that way, and that makes everything easier to do.
How much Jennings dunk or what have you liked from him on the outside?
He's one of the smarter guys we've had, I think, based on the courses and grades. The courses he takes I can't pronounce, and the grades he gets. But he really hides it well. Like, when you talk to him, right? It's like, really? And he's a funny guy. He's interesting. But same thing. Like, he's got great potential, I think. But he's missed a lot of time, like, since he's been here. So that's a race that all these guys are running right now. But I think based on the limited stuff I saw in the spring, he's out there probably 6-7 practices. There's a lot to be encouraged about. And even when he was doing things wrong technically, it still looked okay. So if you can get him to do it right, get him the way he needs to do it, it might look really good. And that's kind of the battle we've been facing here. I mean, it's just, I don't want to go through our injuries, but it's one of those stretches you don't want to have too often. We've had it. So it is what it is, and we'll just keep pushing forward. But I think we saw daylight here at the end of spring. Yeah, both are mature, both really operate at a high level. Dejan, unfortunately, one practice, and that was it. So we'll learn more about him, and then Rusty we haven't seen on the field. But both of them are older guys. They really are focused on right things, and they've been really good, powerful, strong additions to our team that way. And anytime you lose players, to get guys with positive experience is a good thing.
Were you surprised at all to see Wisconsin in the area? Just as long as you've coached against them, that it's been so consistent. Kind of that hard left turn there.
Yeah, I don't want to say surprised, but interested. It's different, but it's just again, it's like a lot of things. I don't know a lot about it. I have tremendous respect for Paul as a coach, as a player. I think he's highly underrated as a coach, me personally, or not as a player, but his teams, the way they're coached, and like a lot of these. I mean, we play Wisconsin. It's just like, it's going to be hard. You know that. They've always been well coached, and I also know that Luke Fickell's a tremendous person. I know he did a great job, unbelievable job at Cincinnati. So my guess is it's going to look different, but they're going to be really good again.
You've been a young offensive line for more than 15 years. After he was fired, did you give him a call, or have you been in any contact with him?
Yeah, we've had contact, and as I said earlier, I've got nothing but great respect for Pat. I think I'm not close personal friends. The guys on our staff, we don't have enough time to be good friends with each other. So, but I've competed against Pat. I had great admiration for the way he took over a very, just a tragic situation with Coach Walker's passing. And he was a really young guy, and the job he did was phenomenal, in my opinion. What a hard job he had. And then competing against his teams through the years, I mean, they've been nothing but just, first class. They do a great job coaching up there. So I have great respect for him as a person, as a player. And I'm not going to say we don't know each other. We do. I have great respect for Pat. He's a tremendous person.